Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see what is Kubernetes and why we need it. Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration engine. So it works on containers. Before discussing about Kubernetes, let us understand what are the uses of containers. We have already seen what is a Docker image and how we create containers out of it. So here we can see the deployment of containers. Here we have the hardware. On top of it, we have the operating system. And on top of operating system, we install container runtime like Docker. So once we have container runtime, then we can create different containers which can run on the same operating system. Here we have a container that contains the binary and libraries and the application part, and also second container which also runs on the same operating system. So this is how we can deploy containers in a single machine. So what are the uses of these containers? Since multiple containers can run on the same operating system, these are very lightweight. We do not need to have separate operating system for each of the container. And also these containers can run on any machine, whether it is a on-premise or a cloud machine, if it has container runtime installed in it. That means the containers are portable. And if we have a monolithic application, we can segregate that application to multiple microservices, and each microservice is for a specific purpose. Each microservice can be deployed in a container. That means all these microservices are loosely coupled when they deploy in containers. That means each container can be started or stopped without affecting other containers. And also we can easily build the Docker images, and these Docker images can be deployed as containers with a single command. And we have the environmental consistency when we work with containers, because we build the images in the initial stages of the life cycle, and the same image can be deployed into multiple environments by using separate configuration parameters for different environments. So that means same image can be used for multiple environments. And also we can monitor and trace each of the microservices separately when we use containers. That means the monitoring and tracing of the applications are easy when we deploy in the containers. These are some of the uses of containers. Since Kubernetes works on these containers, it inherits all the uses of the containers. All the uses of containers which were discussed just now when we deploy the containers in a single machine. But if we want to distribute our container application into multiple machines, then we have several needs or requirements. So here we have applications which are deployed in containers. How we can distribute these containers so that container 1 runs on node 1, or container 1 runs on node 2, or container 4 runs on node 3, and so on. So if we have to do this manually, it will be very tedious. So there should be a mechanism to distribute or schedule these containers to multiple nodes as per the resource requirements. For example, memory, CPU, and so on. When the containers are distributed or scheduled to multiple nodes, how each container will communicate with other containers. So we already have the host networking, that means the networking between multiple hosts. So similar to host networking, there should be a mechanism for each of the containers to communicate with each other easily. The next requirement is auto scaling. For example, we have deployed the container in one of the nodes, and if you want to scale the application, that means if you want to run another container of the same application, there should be a mechanism to auto scale this container based on the demand. And also the containers may be stopped due to various reasons. In that case, we need to start the container manually. So if we have a mechanism to restart these containers automatically, then that will be really useful for us. So that means we should have a capability of auto healing when we deploy the application in containers. And also if the container is running in multiple nodes, how do we expose this application to outside? So there should be a load balancer for us which distributes the load among multiple containers which are deployed in multiple nodes. So instead of deploying the load balancer manually, there should be an inbuilt load balancer within the framework that balances the load among multiple containers. And also how we establish the DNS of these containers. That means how the containers will communicate with another containers using names instead of IP addresses. So that is another requirement for us. And if the containers deployed in multiple nodes, so the containers may need the storage. So there should be an orchestration for the storage which will be shared by multiple containers. Another important requirement is how we deploy or roll back these containers in multiple nodes easily. So all these are very important requirements when we distribute or deploy our application in terms of containers in multiple nodes. All these requirements will be fulfilled by Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration engine for automated deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. So Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration engine which orchestrates the containers among multiple nodes and provides all these important features like automated deployment, auto scaling, auto healing, the scheduling, load balancing, service discovery, and so on. I hope this video helps. Thanks a lot for watching.